From the center of the universe, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, this is the SDM Show with your host, Rob Cairns. The SDM Show focuses on business, life, productivity, digital marketing, WordPress, and more. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, and enjoy the show. Here is Rob.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rob Cairns. I'm the founder, CEO, and chief technologist at Stunning Digital Marketing. In today's show, I have my monthly co-host to talk about marketing, and Miss Bridget Willard joins me, and we're going to talk about the key word for this year, and that's patience. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. The SDM Show is brought to you by Stunning Digital Marketing, the digital marketing concierge that helps you put all your marketing pieces together. We are your marketing experts. We are also your WordPress security experts and know how to lock down a website and protect yourself from bad actors. So contact us at Stunning Digital Marketing today. Hey, everybody, Rob Cairns here. And today I have my regular monthly co-host to discuss marketing, Miss Bridget Willard. Hey, Bridget, how you doing?
How's it going? Well, at 4 o'clock in the morning at Corpus Christi, Texas, which is, by the way, subtropical climate, it was 28 degrees, feels like negative 15.
Yeah, so
No,
as of the
thank
time
you.
of this record, we broke records in downtown Toronto and Pearson International Airport for the most snow. Pearson broke the record for the most snow ever on one day, which is about 46 centimeters. So for you Americans, that's over a foot. And in the area I'm in right now, Mississauga, we hit approximately 2 feet of snow. And I'm out of places to put snow. So, welcome to
I mean, it
winter.
was fine when I was in Wisconsin. I had the clothes. Thank God I saved this wool sweater. The cat went under the covers. He doesn't even want to be. He's not like a cat who normally likes to be under the covers. But while I was talking
Yeah.
to my boyfriend, he was just like, we were laughing so hard. But,
Yeah,
you know.
and this is after we got a foot last week. So we've had 3 feet in 2 weeks. We're kind of a little buried under today.
I
So
mean,
the
mind you,
Bennett,
my temperature is at 70 degrees, but
yeah,
the windows, and the
yeah,
apartment only shares one wall with the person next door, and I think it's vacant underneath. So the
yeah,
floor is cold.
yeah.
It's cold,
Well,
baby.
the benefits to all this being snowed in is I get to spend some time with you. So that's a good thing.
Yes.
So let's jump in and talk about a key word that you threw out there. And it's something you and I have talked about over the years, and it's called patience in marketing. And what we need to realize is, and you summed it up best, and I'm going to steal what you said because I think you hit it bang on as we're talking before we recorded. Businesses do things quarterly, Fortune 500s do things quarterly, banks do things quarterly, the stock market does things quarterly. But why did entrepreneurs expect instant gratification? Please explain.
The best version of that is they don't understand that
Hmm.
normal businesses work in quarters.
Yeah.
The worst is they can't afford to wait for
Mhm.
results.
But the reason for that is, I believe, small businesses, and I'll tell you the other business that's very much like this, and it's not a small business, is a real estate business. It's changed. My mom will hate me to say this. I believe they go feast or famine. So when it's busy, they don't market. And then when it's not busy, they start to market looking for an immediate result, not realizing marketing is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes, I built a website for a local realtor as
Hmm.
an experiment, like, hey, I want to build this website for you. I saw your domain name is available. It's a basic website. If you want to keep going with it, it's going to be $32 a month because I give Nueces County, where I live, 20% off my published pricing. And she
Yeah.
was like, oh, but I haven't gotten any leads yet. Well, you wouldn't, and that's what I told her on the phone, so I don't mind if she sees this on Facebook or something, but you wouldn't get any leads. We just basically did a one, two, three pager.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like one blog post on there. Nobody's tweeting it out, nobody's posting it. It's just there so that you can have your own brand identity, especially in real estate because they move a lot from brokerages, right?
Hmm.
You want to own your brand. You, for a business like that, your brand is yourself.
Yeah.
So it's not meant to be the main lead generation machine for a realtor, especially when it's a baby website that just was born in January or something, right?
Hmm.
Or October. But a SaaS company who wants to book demos, your website should be
Yes.
the main source of leads, right? So it depends on the industry. It depends on what you're trying to achieve.
Hmm.
And I feel like with AI, everybody's like, AI, that's great. Let's just all do this. I was reading an article yesterday. I forget where, maybe Harvard Business, and it was talking about how now that we have AI, everybody's in these very high level strategy conversations, but it's getting them nowhere because
Yeah.
there aren't action steps after that, and nobody is doing the work. This is why this is on the back of my company mug. Do the work. A lot of people like to talk, oh, yeah, we could reach this audience and do this and do that. But that means, okay, now you have to list out the tactics to achieve that goal. They have to be measurable goals, smart goals. They have to be achievable, right? They have to be with a time, all this stuff, right? Specific. Everybody who knows about marketing knows about SMART goals, but very few of us do them, right?
Yep.
I mean,
It's true.
it's easy with software pre and post AI to just think you're marketing. I started a Facebook page. Okay, doesn't mean you're marketing with it,
Yep.
right? It doesn't mean that you're moving the engine closer. And when you've talked about that before, like the feast or famine cycle, construction is a lot like that. And so
Yeah.
when I built the website for Riggins Construction, when I was the office manager there and started doing all this stuff, my boss is like, "What are you even doing? Like, how is this going to move the needle?" He never could attach those things. But I'm like, marketing is like a steam powered locomotive with coal.
Hmm.
You can't stop shoveling the coal. It doesn't
Yep.
matter if you're going on a downside or whatever. You have to keep stoking the fire. You have to keep feeding it.
Yep. Yep.
You'll go so far when you stop. If you stop, you're going to have a certain amount of kinetic energy, right? You'll keep moving. Gravity, kinetic energy, physics, blah, 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 blah.
Hmm.
But how much more effort does it take now to start all over again? Now the
Yeah.
whole thing has to start boiling. You've lost time. You've lost momentum. I mean, people talk about having momentum, kismet, that magic, the je ne sais quoi of how it feels when things are moving in the right direction. But a lot of times they're not willing to do the work, they're not willing to pay somebody to do the work, and they're not consistent and or they're not consistent with it. So
Hmm.
that's where the patience comes in. The patience is the mental framework, right? You can't just sit around on the sidelines all butthurt because you didn't catch the ball, okay?
Yeah.
You have another you have another first down ahead of you.
Hmm. And
Keep
where
go
I
You
would
have to
start,
put your mind there.
yeah, where I would start is you said you're not willing to do the work. And people on this show, and you've heard me talk about finding time to do that work. And what I suggest to every small business owner is they go to their Google Calendar, whatever calendar app they're using, iCloud, don't care, and block off focused time every week to do your own marketing. So you got to stop working for the business and you got to start working in the business. And small entrepreneurs haven't got that through their heads yet. Small entrepreneurs who have products, especially in the WordPress space, most of them can't market out of a brown paper bag if I left it open and took off the restraints. They just can't.
It's not their wheelhouse.
That's right. And they wonder why they're not successful and they're selling low volume products
I
in
mean,
terms of cash
honestly,
flow.
I'm not super trying to plug this book, but also this is why I wrote How to Market Your
Plug the book.
Plugin.
Plug the book.
It's the only book like this. And in the back is a 3-year marketing plan, a 3-year marketing framework with specific things to do quarter by quarter. Quarter one, start a Twitter account, start a Facebook page for later, build a landing page for beta signups. And it tells you year one, plugin almost ready for beta testers. So this whole build in public thing, that's
Bridget,
not new.
can I stop you for a sec, though? Really
Yes.
important. The stuff you're talking about, even though it's a plug-in book, in the interest of transparency, you could take most of that and apply it to any business. Like,
Oh,
let's be fair.
it's okay, sure.
And,
Yes.
and,
Yes.
and what I'm saying is that quarter by quarter analysis you've done makes that book worth every dollar it's worth. And what
Yeah,
I'm suggesting,
just that alone.
just that alone. So
Yep.
what I'm suggesting is the stuff that Bridget's teaching, even though it's for plugins, could be applied to anything.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that entrepreneurs don't get. They don't get market. They're forever chasing, and they wonder why they're either slumped and burned out or have nothing on the go. Look
Yeah,
at
and
look at me with this podcast. I do this podcast consistently. Yeah, sometimes I scaled it back a bit, but I don't think I've missed a week except the week I was in the hospital in 2024 in a long time. I've missed. I've gone back to one a week, but I always do something because consistency, consistency, consistency. And yes, you have to be patient because this is a marathon, folks, not a sprint.
the patience is a mentality. It's super hard. I'm not the best
Yep.
at it either. I abandoned my podcast, but I kind of did it just to support my plugin, Launch with Words. Um, and then I had to work full time at TJ Maxx to support my business.
Mm-hmm.
So I, I think about bringing it up a lot. I really love podcasts. I love being on podcasts. I feel inspired by being on podcasts. It's something I feel like more people should do, not
Yeah.
start one, be on one, right? Starting one, running, I mean, that's a whole nother topic, but it's a lot
Oh,
of work. Okay.
lots.
So, even if you do all the hacks, it's a lot of effort, right? So, one of the things I used to do, and I'm doing this in a different way this year because I'm focusing more on video, is I would, if you're your own business, you can make your own schedule, right? Mondays,
Yep.
never any client meetings.
Me
Okay,
neither.
Mondays is for admin. Like we're recording on a Monday. I consider this kind of an admin time, right?
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
sending invoices, I'm reminding people, I'm reaching out, I'm reconciling my bank account in Zero. Admin. I'm setting up Google Docs for a client or whatever. Friday, no work. Friday, no work. Friday is for my business, for my blog posts, so I have 4 hours that I dedicate to my business on Fridays because nothing happens on Fridays. In B2B, Fridays is for the people who are shopping. It's not for what I do. So my kind of like carrot stick to kind of use psychological pairing with my own
Yep.
impatience before I knew I was ADHD and autistic is whatever I get done, if I'm done with that, I'm off for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So in construction, we would get like Fridays off at 4, and it felt so exciting instead of 5, right? But I'm like, well, I could decide this. This is when I'm going to do a blog post, blah, 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 whatever it was I was needing to do for myself. And
Hmm.
then, but if I'm done, when I'm done with that, I'm done for the day. Go out drinking with my girls, go have a 3 hour lunch like retired
Yep.
people,
Yep.
whatever, go to the movies, do whatever I wanted to do. That's what I did. So you do need to know yourself. You do need to have an honest look at yourself to decide if this is what works for you. And sometimes what works for you is being accountable to somebody else.
No
Maybe
question.
you have a business partner, or maybe you have a vendor, right? Right. But this idea that we're going to buy the sea monkeys on the back of the cereal box and have an instant aquarium, that's not how anything works. Otherwise, why would Coca-Cola ever have to pay for a billboard or a commercial ever again?
Okay, you're an NFL football fan, and so am I.
Yes.
And how many times do we turn on a game like yesterday? And at the time of this record, yesterday was the AFC and NFC championship games yesterday, and we see the same ad 20 times in a football game.
Liberty, liberty,
Consistency,
liberty.
consistency, consistency. That's why. And Coca-Cola comes to mind. Beer companies come to mind. Um,
Miller Lite.
Miller Lite, yep, big time. They come to mind. Lately, I hate to say it, it's gambling ads in Canada because we allow sports gambling. I mean, it's all that.
Same.
And and
DraftKings.
and if you and let's just forget regular TV. People say, "Oh, the streaming world's not like that."
Yes,
Have
it
you listened to
is.
a podcast lately? BetterHelp is one of the biggest advertisers out there, mental health. Cozy Earth, who has products out there, is one. Mattress companies are another. It goes on and goes on and
You
goes
you
on.
can't even listen to ESPN without having, did you're looking for your right candidate? Go to LinkedIn.com/jobs,
Yeah,
LinkedIn.com/jobs, LinkedIn.com/jobs.
I know. The point I'm making is those who say, "Oh, you're old-fashioned in this conversation," the digital world's the same way. I mean, it used to be it was 5 to 7 touches to get somebody interested. I truly believe that's closer to 50 now, personally. I think it's a long haul game. It's not a short haul game anymore.
I mean, there's always the impulse buy, but
Yeah.
usually it's because, like for example, with retail.
Hmm.
I'm looking at something on Instagram, real. I see a
Yep.
thing for like this kind of bra, it's supposed to solve this kind of problem. Okay, whatever. See it again. I see it again. Maybe that'll work. See it again. Buy it. Can't return it. That's why I stopped buying this stupid shit.
Yep.
Right? But they still
Yep.
got me
Yep.
because
It's
they
true.
know you're doom scrolling. They know you're doom scrolling. Even though we're putting the commercials on mute when Ralph and I are watching football or TV in general, it
Mhm.
doesn't mean you're not seeing them. Like we look forward to we're listen, he's no Tom Brady fan, but the Pizza Hut commercial is awesome.
It's a
And then
good
the old
commercial.
lady tackles him down. We laugh every time. Does that
Yeah.
mean I'm going to order Pizza Hut? No. And this is the other point. So a lot of times we look to these big brands and we
Mhm.
see the creator economy and we
Yep.
see these forms of entertainment. And then we think that's what we should do. What?
Yep.
We don't have their budgets. We're not trying to reduce our tax liability by wasting money paying for giant commercials.
Yep.
We're not publicly traded companies that have to show a certain percentage of growth versus our projected revenue by the end of every quarter. That's not our goal. So, what works for Wendy's on Twitter is not necessarily a good idea for a piece of software in fintech. You're trying to get people to trust you. Stop being ridiculous. And I know the insurance commercials are ridiculous, but it doesn't change your mind. I
No,
mean,
it's
maybe
true.
it changes some people's minds, but it's entertainment so that you think about it, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um,
It's so
and
it's
then
so true. and consistency matters. I just had Jake Isham on the show recently in a episode entitled "The Art of Content Creation," and Jake and I talked about that and this at length. And he said, "Consistency, consistency, We're back to that again. It's not, and you got to be very careful when you're being overly creative because what happens is sometimes people click on ads, digital ads, because they're creative, not because they want to buy. So, I mean, the other thing you got to watch is just because you have an ad out there and you're generating clicks, it doesn't mean it's generating the right leads, which generate the sales.
Yes, because it's
And
always
that's
the
what matters.
right audience. It's always the
That's
right
right.
audience.
That's
And the
right.
thing is that like Lauren's been doing this kind of experiment on Twitter a lot, X.
Hmm.
He posts a picture of his perfectly thin crepe because he's a pastry chef.
Yeah.
And then he posts a picture from AI of gold peanut butter. I think it's AI. I hope it's AI because that's just weird. And it gets so many more views, but that's just sensationalism, right? Neither are helping him get a
Mhm.
customer. Both of them,
Yep.
but why is he doing? He's doing it as case studies for his social media class because he's a
I agree.
teacher. Okay. That's his why. So we can't even look at Warren and go, well, Warren's doing this. He must be really successful with all of
Mhm.
his web design clients. You don't know why he's doing it unless you actually talk to him and he's
Yep.
telling you the truth. Now, I
Yep.
happen to be his friend, so I know he's doing this to show his social media students a point. If it's a
Mhm.
product, that's totally different. But most of us who watch your show are B2B. We're
Yep.
B2B.
I would
If
agree.
you're selling a piece of software to another person who's using that software, you're mostly B2B. You're not selling to the CEO. You're
Hmm.
selling to the
Hmm.
decision maker, the
Yep.
CIO, the tech nerd, whoever, the vendor, their website agency. You're selling from a business to another business. And
Hmm.
so what you have to have there is a relationship. A relationship takes time and trust.
Yeah.
Any relationship takes time and trust over time. That's
Hmm.
that consistent touch. And if you're always trying these outlandish different campaigns and you're experimenting and you're changing, you know what you've done? You've destroyed your brand voice.
Yeah.
You've lost your identity.
Yep.
You don't
Yep.
know who you are. How do you
Yep.
think the LLMs, the perplexities, the chat GPTs, the Google AI mode, Gemini, how do you think they're even going to know you or recommend you,
Hmm.
right? Even
100%.
so, I tell this story a lot. I'm going to tell it again. I was an office manager at Riggins Construction. I did the marketing. I just decided to do it. It's 2008. The whole economy went to crap in 2009 for
Yep.
construction, the housing crisis, right? The junk bonds. And then, so I was like, let's keep doing these things. I hear the boss man in the office next to me talking about epoxy injection. Everybody's afraid of it, blah, blah, blah. So I make a video, point and shoot. Can I do this? Sure, whatever. Everything I had was like pulling teeth. But I did it. It was kind of hokey, but it worked. Okay. There wasn't a lot of leads at first. Fast forward 3 years, we get a lead from him that the guy said, I watched your YouTube video. It came on search. He searched for the topic, it came up. He had a project for $8,000. Come to find out, he had 10 buildings. That $7,800 job turned into $97,000 that year. And the gross profit of it paid for my half of my salary that year. Patience. That video is still up there. If I
Yep.
call Tom Riggins, he's probably still getting leads from it because it
Yep.
explains the process, right? And these are the things that have always worked in search. Remember,
Hmm.
everybody was building an FAQ page.
Yep.
Everybody's doing these quick hits, these content chunks. You'll see Rand Fishkin on Spark Toro talk about use your same bio everywhere.
Yep.
Then the LLMs, the AI knows who you are. That's patience. That's
Yes.
planting seeds and waiting for them to grow.
Mhm.
You know, there's this movie, I don't know, back when I was a super Christian, I loved these kinds of movies. It's still a great movie. It's called Faith Like Potatoes. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I have actually.
It's a good movie. Anyway, so there's this farmer, he decides to try potatoes. Whatever, somewhere in Africa or something like that. I don't even remember it all exactly. But whatever he was doing wasn't working, so they tried potatoes. You don't see potatoes growing. There's no corn stalk. You have no
It's
idea
true.
what's happening. And you can't mess with it.
Yep,
You cannot
it's
mess
true.
with the potatoes. You have to have that patience.
Hmm. It's
It's
like,
hard. It's mental
yeah,
discipline.
and the problem is, I think in today's world, part of the problem is people don't have patience at all. I mean,
That's why it's the,
we look at the political climate, and then I tell you where it started even more. Do you remember the days where, and you and I are similar ages, so I can say this, um, where you went to college or university, and if you went to a bank, they wouldn't even let you open a bank account unless your parents went in with you, and they
Mhm.
wouldn't even give you a credit card. Now, the kids go to college, university, and what do? The first thing the banks are on campus saying, we'll give you a $5,000 credit card limit because you're a university student. So right away, they're learning they can take this card and go buy anything they want and figure out how to pay it later. Whereas you and I, if we wanted something when we were younger, and I'm 58, I have no brain saying that. I can remember being 16 and working part time and taking a percentage of my paycheck every week and handing it to my dad to save money for a stereo system I wanted. And I would go by the store every week and just kind of look at what I was going to buy in 3 months. I did that. And then I can remember my dad coming to me and saying, and at one point I said, I got close, and then they had a floor model, which went on sale. So for those who don't know, in not so much today, but it was very common for them to sell the floor model to sell it off and get it off the floor. And I was $75 short, and I had saved like $900 or whatever it was at the time. And my father turned around and gave me the $75 because I had saved all this other money. And that was patience. And the point is, because I took the time to do it right, I also had respect in what I had bought. And that's the other problem. Those who achieve success by not patience have no respect for that success. And that's a problem too.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's why people don't really
Yeah.
care about websites as much as they should. Because they see the GoDaddy, Google, Goggins, whatever, Walter Goggins goggles or whatever. AI
Yeah.
is just going to build this for me.
But it's
Okay.
also, but we won't even get into the security question. Oliver Sid of Patchstack was posting on LinkedIn about the security issues are going to blow up between GoDaddy and Wix and Weebly and Squarespace and all of that. And I
I
and I
mean,
did, uh,
obviously,
yeah, and that's a whole new discussion for a whole nother
oh, with a different
podcast.
guest. But
Yes,
this guest knows enough to know that
yeah,
if you're giving read and write access to another piece of software, you don't know what that read and write access is going to do. You would never do that with another human, right? So,
mm,
but anyway, going back to college, right?
yeah,
Before Google, because I'm
yeah,
52, going to look in the card file, catalog card
yeah.
file,
Oh yeah, for a book.
with a
Yes,
roll of
yes,
dimes so that you can print off something from a microfiche. You
yeah,
had to actually do research. You're on your own. You had nobody to help you. That college degree is worth more than any college degree today because you actually did the work. I
yep,
was talking to a friend about math. How are you teaching algebra on a computer? Like, how are you
yep,
doing that? How are you showing your work? Because the problem with algebra is you're learning a language, and that language is logic. You're learning how to manipulate these pieces of data so that everything remains the same,
Yep.
just like chemistry.
Statistics
Okay.
is the same. And what people
Right.
don't understand is showing the work is more important than the final result.
Because you should know that 4 plus x equals 6. You should know that 2x is 2.
Yep.
You're not
Yeah.
learning the answer. You're learning the
The
process. And the
process. Yes.
process is the work. The
Yes.
marketing process is the work.
Yes.
Opening yourself on starting this one channel, working that for 3 months, going to
Mhm.
quarter 2 and starting another channel, going to quarter 3 and starting another channel. Like you're building this
Yep.
crescendo of work over
Yep.
time. It just doesn't, as a vendor, I'm gonna say that's the frustrating part of being in business for yourself
Yeah.
with
So
the
three
way I've decided to model my business.
Mhm. So 3 years ago, I had somebody come to me and asked me to get involved with a client who did a book. And marketing books is hard work. So we'll go there. And this was in November. And they wanted, you're going to laugh, a video to go viral on TikTok to sell books before
Okay,
Christmas. Before
sure.
Christmas. Okay. So we all know most publishers release their Christmas books in June and July, right?
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Or September, because it's patience and it's time, and time is part of patience.
I mean,
And
June and
they could,
July is when you should be marketing for Christmas anyway. We've
uh,
already had an episode about
yeah,
this.
and they couldn't understand, despite I stood there in writing and said, if we start in November, you're really marketing for the spring. And they came back to me in December after paying some money and saying, we're not happy. And I said, why? We're not getting leads. I said, you've only been at this 6 weeks. Oh, we don't want to do anything else. I said, okay, feel free. Because they were another misguided entrepreneur that expected instant gratification because they turned on the funnel. The funnel takes time. This is why in marketing, most good companies have a long term nurture funnel for those who don't buy. This is why guys like me put out a Substack that has podcasts and marketing tips in them on a regular basis, because I know you have to keep showing clients prospective clients your expertise as you go.
It's the same with musicians. Okay, you're a big Rush fan, so you probably know this. Like, how many years were they a band? How many albums did they put out before they had a Billboard hit?
Lots. Yeah,
I was just
yeah,
watching a documentary, an interview with Dan Rather of Kansas, with
yeah.
Kansas, the existing members of Kansas.
Hmm.
They were a band in high school. I
Yep,
mean, they weren't on a hit until Dust in the Wind.
yep. Yeah, it's true. It takes time. It really does. And by the way, it's not about marketing. It's about business in general. Business is all about patience. So if you're building your career, you got to be patient. If you're working on your expertise, you don't go from zero to a rock star overnight. Some people do, they get lucky, but that's not the case.
There's almost never overnight success. There's people who've been working forever.
Yeah, yeah. So I agree with you. Patience should be a key word for this year. No
That's
question.
mental discipline, the financial discipline to go for the long run, to do it
Mhm.
the correct way. I mean, I'll watch CNBC during the day and then I'll land on Shark Tank. It's just not a show I really like. But one time I was just on, so I just watched it. They're going to Shark Tank not when they invented it. They're going to Shark
Oh,
Tank 3 years later.
yep,
And they want to know, what have you been doing for the last 3 years? What exactly could
yep.
we help you with? What's your marketing budget like? I mean, Just go by the questions they ask, you know? But now that AI can build the software super fast, maybe it can schedule some tweets and then I'll be 100 air.
No, you won't.
I
Because
mean,
everybody else is doing that, so you're getting lost in the AI noise, right?
it's just, I mean, it makes me sad because I'm not, I'm honestly not sure how to communicate this anymore. Like, I don't know how, and I went back, I was talking to Adam McLaughlin on Twitter yesterday, and I was like,
I know
you
Adam very
know,
well.
I'm going back to the what Gary Vee used to say in 2008, 9, 11. Don't try to convert the unconverted.
I agree.
If they don't know they need marketing, if they're not willing to run the race, to have the patience, to have the mental and financial discipline to trust you as a vendor, it's not a good client.
No,
Just not
I
a good
agree.
client.
I was going to share something with you just because we're talking about AI, kind of not related to today's topic, but I am adding an AI show to the list of regular
Oh, how
shows.
fun.
And I have a gentleman by the name of David Wilder. David just joined me for a show, and coming out of that, he will be joining me to do an AI show on a monthly basis. So I've only made that announcement in one other place, and that was on Lee Matthew Jackson's podcast. We all know Lee in the WordPress space. I recorded with Lee a couple weeks ago, and I let Lee and his audience in on the secret. So now I'm letting my audience in on the secret. So look for that to come, by the way.
I mean,
And
I'm
as
not, sorry, I'm not as
no,
against AI as I used to be,
no, I know.
but it should be used in the right time and place.
Yes, 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 100%.
Like
Bridget, as
I'm,
you're absolutely right. It's a tool, like a page builder's a tool, like the printing press is a tool, like a manufacturing assembly line is a tool. AI is a tool.
so like I'll tell you, I'm in love with thumbnailcreator.com. They've gotten a lot of my money recently. It's does a great job. But you have to still know how to talk to the prompt machine,
Yes,
okay? And give it source material so that it works. But
yes.
I will tell you, I was writing a Google Doc for a client, and I was like, well, let's see what Gemini can do. Can
Gemini is
Gemini,
amazing.
I know you love it so much. So I
I
said,
do.
hey, Gemini, how long have I been writing in this document? Does that sound like a reasonable question to you?
Yes.
Especially with the revision history that Google Docs has.
And what did it
I'm
say?
s- I'm sorry, I can't help you with that right now. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot, Hal
I know.
9000. Like this is a math thing. Like so even the people that are building AI, like what do your users actually want? I don't want you to write for me, Gemini. What I want you to do is I like the summaries in Gmail. I'm not gonna lie. Especially when they start going thread.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but like these math questions, like, because I could use clockify.com.
yeah.
Mostly I just write the time I started. I was just curious, can you do this thing? Can
I
this
know.
computer do a math problem?
I
But
know.
again, an LLM is learning language model. It's about the words and not math,
Yes,
right?
I agree.
They are different, distinct things. But I see already in my own user behavior that my expectations of it is much higher. Honestly, I don't know why Google Docs doesn't have a time spent on this document. You
I don't
know,
know.
that to me that seems so obvious of a
Mm,
choice, you know, like you're going
mhm.
back and forth, this person's doing it has like the check, like did somebody just copy and paste the whole thing from
Yep,
ChatGPT? Like it
it
could do
does.
that, but it like a real business question being, how much time did you spend on this? Did you lose money on your bid, Bridget? Like, that's the kind of business help I would expect from Google Workspace.
Yep, it's true. Bridget, thanks as always. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, how's the best way?
The best way is to find me on Twitter, Bridget M. Willard, but also bridgetwillard.com, hello at bridgetwillard.com. And yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
As always, thank you, Bridget. Have a great day. And maybe one of these days we'll get a certain diesel to make a public appearance. Eh?
He's hiding under the covers, and it's 70
As,
degrees in here.
as usual. Have a great day, Bridget. Bye for now.
Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by Stunning Digital Marketing, your digital marketing concierge to help the business owner put all his pieces together, whether it's email marketing, WordPress security, WordPress design and development, PPC, and more. Text Stunning Digital Marketing for all your digital marketing needs today. Very special thank you to Bridget for joining me on this edition of the SDM Show. The SDM Show is dedicated to my late father, Bruce Cairns. Dad, I miss you very much every day. My mother, Ann Cairns, who's still doing really well and is an inspiration. And of course, Tiz Maroney. And Tiz, I know I've said it, but thank you so much for all the inspiration you give me every day.